The building didn't exactly scream upscale candy shop. Our work was cut out for us, but none of us were prepared for how great this was gonna come out. I first met Danielle back in 2016. She was interviewing architects for her home. I wound up getting the commission, we became friends. In the middle of that process, she and her friend Tara had started a company called Curbside Confections. Fast forward to 2021, I get a text from Danielle that she and Tara are ready to buy a building. They're looking to open up a candy shop. She sent me this building. It was not the one they ultimately found to purchase, but we did a feasibility analysis on it and it just wouldn't fit their needs. Shortly after, Danielle's husband Tristan identified this building in Park Ridge on Kinderkamak Road, and it was perfect for them. When I say perfect, it's not relating to the building. It was ultimately the location of the space. We ran our feasibility, we discussed it. Our collective vision was that this would be potentially the perfect location for them. With strong branding experience, Danielle and Tara wanted the place to be classy, but remain playful and fun, like a bougie candy shop. So we had developed two versions of designs for them, one that leaned classy, and then one that went way more playful. The playful version leaned Wonka-esque. It's highlighted by the pink barge boards, the lollipop shutters, and the curly-Q signage. The front porch, we had turned columns, which harkened back to a 1930s candy shop. The cleaner version leaned more Hamptons. So that basically meant we're more monochromatic, the columns were gonna be square, the signage equally square. We introduced some exterior lighting, and then we bumped out the second floor in this version. The first floor was totally gutted. We wanted you to enter and see an open sales floor, so you'd be able to see product and the candy wrap. The stair, which was in the center, we relocated that to the rear of the structure so that in one location, we could connect the storage area in the basement, the first floor sales area, and the second floor party space.
Designing renovations are typically challenging because you're dealing with existing conditions and not everything's always perfect. Even the most practical of designs have certain constraints. Sometimes we're dealing with things that aren't up to codes. Other times we're dealing with certain conditions that are not the way they should be. My name is Frank Troya. I'm a project architect at Plan Architecture. I'm on both the design and construction drawing side of things here. Since we're expanding the building, we had to do additions to both the front and the rear, which required adding foundations to the front and the rear of the existing footprint. In order to achieve the open floor concept, we had to remove some structural walls, which had to make us introduce a series of beams in order to support the loads coming from above. It can sometimes be a challenge to tie in the new footprint or the new roof with the existing structure. In this case, it was a challenge to align the new front porch with the existing footprint, as well as bring in the new roof with the existing roof, since we were not modifying the existing structure all that much. Being that this was a commercial building, we had to comply with both egress codes and ADA codes. In this instance, we actually had to find a space to fit a fully compliant ADA bathroom.
Looking back on the project and having worked with Michael Ganella of Ganella Property Group, Tara best summarizes it. She constantly says that it's so clean and neat, and that although they have a ton of product, the space puts the product forward. So our work becomes a very natural background for their business, and it enhances their brand that way. This project was unique for us. We usually take on custom single-family homes, but having worked with Danielle in the past and understanding that Curbside doesn't really fit the bill of a commercial space, we knew that our insight, our design aesthetic, and frankly, our customer service, which matches their level of customer service, would be a perfect match for them. Every project, no matter the size, has surprises. Danielle and Tara would tell you they're most surprised by how close the final product was to the renderings they fell in love with at the very beginning of our design process.